My life was impacted in an immense way here at Notre Dame. My 4 years at Notre Dame, I saw immense growth in terms of personally and spiritually. You know, when I came into Notre Dame, my view of the world in terms of religion, in terms of careers, was very limited. But with the faculty and the staff here, I really learned a lot. Now, one thing that I was also surprised by was the sort of diversity in terms of the student body. I met with folks that were from all parts of the region, whereas previously I had just met folks from my own very community. And some of those relationships I hold to even today. So my relationships that I built at Notre Dame carried on through college, carried on in my professional realm, and now throughout Connecticut, I'm constantly meeting Notre Dame alum that are doing just great things in our state. So there's so many ways that Notre Dame has benefited me personally. During my years here at Notre Dame, I have so many different stories that I could relate that provided such a positive impact. And so I focused on the discipline that I learned through sports, through the various clubs that I participated in, how to really go for a goal, reach for a goal, and how to go about achieving it and being disciplined in terms of doing that. What inspires me most about Notre Dame today is the consistency in terms of the quality and level of education that the students receive here. So much so that my son, Hunter, he actually graduated from Notre Dame in 2017. And I remember he had no intentions of coming to Notre Dame, his dad's old school, until he came here one day and he visited the school, and all of a sudden Notre Dame went from last to the list to top of the list. And why? Because he could see the quality in terms of the education, he can see the offerings in terms of the clubs and special activities here at Notre Dame, and he could recognize and he saw the academic excellence, the same that I saw even as a young 8th grader going into high school. I knew that Notre Dame would be the best opportunity for me to do my best academically and to be able to compete to get into a good college or university. My message to Notre Dame students today and for years to come: make sure that they take advantage of all that Notre Dame has to offer. I certainly did in terms of sports, in terms of the various clubs. I remember even being on the debate team for a while here at Notre Dame. I was able to explore and go into different areas that I never dreamed that I would actually enjoy or experience and benefit. And really, those are some of the lasting memories and experiences that I had here at Notre Dame. The Knights of Honor recognition is really, truly an honor for me. Again, coming from my humble beginnings, starting off here as a freshman at Notre Dame, and being able to graduate from college, work as an engineer at a water utility, trying to be a leader of the community. These are all things that the seeds were sown at Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame, even when I was here back in the mid-'80s, volunteerism, helping others, those were things that I really learned here at Notre Dame. Well, certainly I'd like to acknowledge my parents. They played a huge role in terms of expressing the importance of education and academics. I certainly would love to acknowledge when I was here, my counselor was Mr. Patrick Clifford, and from the very beginning, he really helped me every step of the way. I think our counselors here at Notre Dame do such a fine job. And all of our teachers, whether it was with math or English, played a huge role in making me the person that I am today. I've had so many folks that have helped me out throughout the years. My advice would be for students to pass that on, pass that tradition on. If you're an upperclassman, help those in the lower grades. Once you graduate, don't forget Notre Dame. Come back and partake your experiences to the student body here at Notre Dame.